Good morning to all of my 162 parents. I'm looking outside, and on Friday, it seemed as if we were headed for a snowstorm, but the snowstorm did not materialize. Today, it's raining, but what I feel is that spring is on its way. I did want to share a couple of things with you, two negatives, but even the negatives turned out positive in the end. And then just some updates about 162. When you're walking your children to school, or if they're walking alone, they should always, always, always cross at the corner. There are stop signs, there are crossing guards. And one of our children was walking to school with an adult from the Madison School. They let go of his hand and ran into the street and unfortunately were hit by a car. The good news is the car stopped immediately and the child was actually underneath the car, but the tires did not hit the car. And so even though this was a traumatic experience, other than bruises and scrapes and the trauma of having a negative experience, this child was not injured. When we talk to the police about this, what they're advising us to do, and I'm sharing this with you, always hold your child's hand rather than them holding your hand. And you may think that's a small thing, but what is the reason for that? If a child is holding your hand, then it's easy for them to pull away, which is what happened, and impetuously proceed to do something that you don't want them to do. If you're holding their hand and they attempt to pull away, you will feel the pressure and you can pull back. This was really no one's fault. Two children walking to school, one parent dropping off a child. It was an accident, but it could have been much worse. So let's think about that. If you're walking children to school, are you holding their hands tightly? Because remember, if you're 5, 6, 7 years old, you don't think about life the way that we do, and this could have been very, very serious. But we did have another problem at the Huth school. One of our children, and we don't know why, but he decided to run away. But you know that in our life, social media permeates everything. And so we knew he had this in his mind because we accessed the cell phone and the Chromebook that he left behind. And we knew that he was going to start a new life in Millennium Park. Now, I know that you're listening to this and you're thinking, but Millennium Park is not in the South suburban area. It is in Chicago. That's very true. But then we're not where he is in life, and we don't know his level of sophistication. But fortunately, we put out a robocall to the Huth family. A mother responded, and we were able to get some information that helped us to continue this search. And I don't think that you realize this because it's rare that we have anyone that, I don't want to say does not go home, because some children go to other houses and therefore we're able to locate them, because what happened is that they simply went to a friend's house and they're there watching TV or playing video games or something. But we know where the child is because we're able to contact the parent. But from a parent who answered the robocall, we knew that it was in this child's mind to run away from home. I don't know how he got to Hazel Crest, but he did. And he went to a barber shop and he told the barber what he wanted to do. Number one, that he wanted to go to Millennium Park. Number two, he was going to start a whole new life, and he just continued to go on. And then the barber asked him, "How old are you, son?" And he told the barber. The barber then went into the back room, called the Hazel Crest police. We had an alert out from the Madison police and from the Richmond Park. And so they notified us. We were able to reunite the family. But we never know what's in a child's mind because they look at life a little differently. So first of all, I'm thankful to all of the parents that helped us to locate this child, but we never close when something happens and a child is not safely with you. Um, that led to an experience for me, and I'll simply share this because looking back, it's a little humorous. But because it was so late when we finally were able to resolve this issue, then I decided, in my wisdom, to spend the night in the building. This is a different building when you're alone. Not that we don't have security, but that's what I did Thursday night, simply because I felt that it was a safer and wiser thing for me to spend the night in the building. I don't know about wiser, but it certainly was safe. But it's an interesting but very different building if you are in here alone. I will say this. Unlimited snacks, and so that probably was a good thing for me. Unlimited exercise facility, and on and on. But it was exhausting. But I'm so happy that the community responded, and that this child was restored to his father. And I'm sure there was a conversation. But thank you also to the barber who listened to this child, but understood that he was not sophisticated enough to go out into the world and something might happen to him. So those were the two things that happened that were negative last week, but they ended the way that they should, in that we're one big family. And whenever there's an issue or a problem, we always band together. But also, thank you to the police departments. They were very, very aggressive. It's the difficulty, however, is once it becomes dark, it's very difficult to locate someone on the street. It's almost impossible. But two wonderful things. I saw some of you at the Black History event. You know, the Illinois represented us and represented us well at Governor's State. And so when I think of our children and their creativity and what a good teacher can do with them, I'm always grateful. So if you didn't see that, then please go on our YouTube channel and let me know what you think. But I feel that the Illinois was just absolutely magnificent. But last Wednesday, we had a different kind of an event. It was an adult event at the Tinley Park Holiday Inn. We were raising money for the United Negro College Fund, and that's something I've done over the years, but perhaps not to that extent. And so our original goal, 37 superintendents, was $100,000. As we entered Tinley Park on Wednesday, we'd raised $205,000 for scholarships to give to the students in the Southland. So I thank you. I saw many, many of you in the audience. But what I also noticed, because there were pictures taken, I saw the strength of the alphas, and we felt that not only financially, but by your numbers, the alphas, the deltas, the AKAs, the iotas, and on and on. So in a sense, not only did we raise money for children, it was kind of a coming together and maybe a coming out of the COVID experience for many of us. But we honored two of our leaders at that event, Jesse White and former Senate President Emo Jones. If you think about it, what we're doing is building for the future, but we build on the shoulders of those that are part of our past. So I was very, very grateful that they came out, and they were surprised, but they shouldn't be surprised. They've done so much for us over the years. They're such great role models. And so we had that opportunity to honor them. But we're still collecting money for the United Negro College Fund. So if you would like to continue to make a contribution, then please do so. But we're $205,000 and counting. And when we finish the overall campaign, then I'll let you know where we are. And then finally, this Wednesday, which is March 7th, here at the district office, we will host the regional spelling bee. What I'd like to do is extend an invitation to all of you who had a child in our own spelling bee. I think that it's going to help you and help your child if you have this experience of what it's like and what the competitive atmosphere is like as you extend outside of this area. So we will be here at the district office this Wednesday at 7 o'clock. And if you had someone, a child in the spelling bee, then you're invited to attend. What I'm going to do, even if there's not big picture news, I'm going to be sharing via video with you twice a month, just to give you an update on what's going on in 162. But overall, I'm extremely, extremely pleased with what we're accomplishing academically. This summer, there will be our usual mandatory summer school, but we are going back toward an enrichment summer school opportunity, which will be a combination of STEM, robotics, drones, etc. But a part of that also will be the fine arts. And so I will share more with that as we go forward. But have a great day. And as the students here at the high school say, have a great day or not. It's up to you. And thank you for listening.